In the U.S., the sale of firearms has increased exponentially in the last several years. New federal data shows 2015 was a record year for the American firearms industry, with gun sales appearing to hit the highest level on record. As sales continue to rise and more people own firearms, the number of negligent discharges also increases.
A negligent discharge is when a user typically unintentionally fires the firearm, whether because they don't have understanding of the firearm itself, the safety procedures, and how to maintain a safe condition of the firearm.
Improper safety procedures and mishandling of firearms can lead to the unintended discharge of a round. In many cases, these negligent discharges result in injury or death to the user or those nearby.
A negligent discharge can happen to anyone at any time, and it doesn't matter whether you're a civilian or a law enforcement officer. In recent months, there have been several high-profile cases of negligent discharges occurring. For instance, down in Florida, there was a police officer who had a negligent discharge that resulted in the death of an individual who was participating in a civilian police academy. Just prior to that, in Ohio, there was a very well-known range owner who was shot and killed by a student who was actually taking a class in an adjacent room, and that round went through the wall and struck and killed him.
While negligent discharges can be prevented, they still occur. Even world-renowned firearm instructors have caused a negligent discharge while filming, proving it can happen to anyone.
A negligent discharge can happen to anyone based on the fact that if you become comfortable with safety standards of that firearm, you become comfortable with handling a firearm over a long period of time, you become more innately in tune with what's going on, and then you start to add other factors into that shooting algorithm or the safety algorithm. And so negligent discharges may happen even to a more experienced shooter, in the sense that you add multiple factors into what you're trying to receive. So it's no longer just about the safety of the firearm. It then becomes about the environment and reading the environment and all the different variables that come into it. And sometimes when that happens, when you're trying to overextend your ability to read an environment, you become laxed with your safety standards of the firearm, and a negligent discharge may happen.
BarrelBlok is easily inserted through the open ejection port and into the barrel, where it prevents a round from being chambered. If a round was inadvertently inserted into the firearm, BarrelBlok prevents it from being chambered. This prevents a negligent discharge from occurring.
Blok Safety Systems is dedicating to making firearms training and recreational sport shooting both safe and realistic. And in that pursuit, we developed a product called BarrelBlok. This is a two-piece drop-in system. One part fits into the firearm, the other part snaps into the top of the magazine, and they make the firearm both 100% safe as well as preserving 100% of the realism of the firearm for training purposes. BarrelBlok not only prevents negligent discharges by blocking the chamber of the firearm, but it also acts as a visual safety indicator. That indicator lets students, instructors, as well as individuals who may be training at home know that that firearm is safe, and in a training environment that is absolutely invaluable. The beauty of BarrelBlok is that it allows you to safely replicate any function of the firearm in a safe training environment. So for instance, that means that you can train safely reloading your pistol just like it would happen at the range or in the real world.
The second part of the BarrelBlok, called MagBlok, slides into the top of an empty magazine just like a regular round, showing that the magazine is safe and clear too.
MagBlok is the second component to the BarrelBlok system. When it is inserted into the top of the magazine, it not only makes the magazine safe, but it also allows the firearm to mechanically function the same way that it would on the range. Every function from racking the slide or reloading the magazine to performing malfunction drills such as misfires or double feeds can be performed in a realistic manner and done safely in a training environment.
BarrelBlok believes that with the right to bear arms comes the tremendous responsibility to act and handle a firearm in a safe manner at all times.
BarrelBlok prevents training scars by being able to function the firearm in the same way that you would use it in real life or in a real life scenario. Depending on the training, depending on the person, you can then tailor the training, and BarrelBlok then has the ability to augment that training by making it as realistic without compromising safety.
As a firearms instructor, I like the simplicity of the BarrelBlok. I don't have to disassemble the firearm in order to use it. Plus, it's easy for me to remove if I have to do any live fire demonstrations on the range with my students. By having that orange tip sticking out of the muzzle, it tells my students and myself that that firearm is safe. And you know, safety is very important in a training environment.
Safety and security is extremely important to my family when we're doing any type of firearms training. We do know that anytime you are messing with a firearm, an accident can occur. So it's extremely important to my family that we use the BarrelBlok. We want to make sure that not only the firearm is safe, the magazine is safe also. Using BarrelBlok allows us to eliminate any mistakes that could occur. It provides us a level of confidence in knowing that we can train in any environment and not have any accidents.
For more information about BarrelBlok, visit www.bloksafety.com.